Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're heading out on an incredible journey to the bottom of the world, to the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on the planet, Antarctica. It's a place that holds the key to understanding our planet's past, its present, and, maybe most importantly, its future. So just imagine for a second, you've finally arrived at the literal end of the Earth. What's the first thing that hits you? Well, for our guide on this journey, this was it. This one phrase perfectly captures that endless, uniform whiteness, a world so vast it almost loses all perspective, where the line between the ice and the sky just dissolves.
And the person guiding us through this experience is Tishani Doshi. Now, what's really interesting here is that she's not a scientist, she's not some hardened explorer, she's an artist, a poet, a journalist, a dancer. And that unique perspective, well, it gives us this incredibly powerful and human way to see this extreme, almost alien world.
Okay, so let's talk about the journey itself. I mean, how do you even get to the end of the Earth? It's a trek that pretty much redefines the word epic. It pushes the very limits of what we think of as travel. Get this, the journey took over 100 hours. Just let that sink in for a second. That's more than 4 full days of nonstop travel. This isn't just a flight, it's a total immersion into isolation, a real physical reminder of just how far away Antarctica is from, well, everywhere else. Her trip started all the way in India, and it was like this cascade of totally different worlds. She crossed 9 time zones, think about that jet lag, and just countless different ecosystems. And that final leg, it was on a Russian research vessel. So you've got the car, then the plane, then the ship, and with each step, it's like she's peeling back another layer of the familiar world, getting ready for the completely unknown. All right, so after all that travel, 100+ hours, what does it actually feel like to finally arrive, to see that incredible landscape with your own 2 eyes? Well, for Doshi, the very first feeling wasn't just excitement, it was this huge sense of relief. Can you blame her? But that relief was immediately washed over by this wave of just profound wonder. She was totally dazzled by the silence, the sheer whiteness of it all. It's a landscape so massive and empty of anything human that it feels both mysterious and, deeply humbling. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a journey across thousands of miles of ocean. It was also a journey deep, deep into our planet's geological past. See, Antarctica isn't just a place on a map. It's a time capsule. So to really get what Antarctica is today, you have to picture a totally different world. We're talking about going back hundreds of millions of years to a supercontinent called Gondwanaland. Back then, places like South America, Africa, Australia, India, they were all smashed together. And right at the heart of it all, warm and tropical, was Antarctica. And then, over unimaginable stretches of time, this giant landmass started to rip itself apart. It's like the Earth was just tearing itself open in super slow motion. The continents fractured and started to drift, carving out the oceans and creating the world map we know. And this whole violent breakup left Antarctica stranded, all alone at the South Pole, where it just slowly froze over, locking all that history away in the ice. I mean, the scale of this change is it's staggering. Antarctica went from this warm, thriving world full of dinosaurs and forests to the absolute coldest, driest, most desolate place on the planet. A continent that now holds 90% of all the ice on Earth. Just wow. Okay, so what can this ancient frozen world really teach us about our lives right now? Well, as it turns out, its biggest secrets aren't actually about the past. They're about our future. Now, you'd probably think the big lessons from Antarctica would come from its massive glaciers, right? Or the endless ice sheets. But no, the most important insight, the real game changer, comes from something so tiny you literally cannot see it with the naked eye. So, let me introduce you to the unsung hero of the Southern Ocean, phytoplankton. These are basically microscopic marine plants, just drifting around in the water. They might be tiny, but believe me, their impact is absolutely colossal. And this is where it all comes together. These tiny little organisms are the foundation of the entire Southern Ocean food web. We're talking everything from the smallest krill all the way up to the biggest whales. They also do this little thing called photosynthesis, which makes them a crucial part of the global carbon cycle.
But here's the scary part. They are incredibly vulnerable to climate change. If they start to struggle, the whole system could start to collapse. This idea, take care of the small things and the big things will take care of themselves, that becomes the central epiphany of the entire trip. It's a simple little proverb, right? But down there, it's brought to terrifying life. Antarctica's biggest lesson is this. In our super-connected world, even the smallest changes can trigger massive, catastrophic results. You know, this lesson is so powerful that an educator named Jeff Green actually created a program called Students on Ice. His whole mission is built on this one amazing idea. If you can just bring our future leaders, our future policymakers, down to Antarctica to see this fragile ecosystem for themselves, they won't just learn the lesson, they'll feel it. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be inspired to act in ways that previous generations haven't. So, this deep connection between the tiny phytoplankton and the massive global climate, it all leads to a really powerful and honestly pretty sobering conclusion. Because Antarctica doesn't just hold the history of our past, it holds a stark warning about our future. Standing there on the ice, actually watching glaciers retreat, Doshi had this chilling realization. The threat of global warming, it's not some abstract thing that's going to happen way off in the future. No, it is terrifyingly real, and it is happening right now. And what's really staggering is just how fast this has all happened. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, human civilization has been around for a blink of an eye, but our impact, it's been astronomical. All that relentless burning of fossil fuels, we basically wrapped a blanket of CO2 around the planet, and it is fundamentally changing our climate, maybe for good.
Doshi's observation here just says it all. With this incredible understatement, we've managed to create quite a ruckus. In just a couple 100,000 years, which is nothing in the planet's 4.5 billion year history, we have, without a doubt, created quite a ruckus, messing up natural balances that took millions of years to form.
And that brings us right back to the chilling double meaning of the title, Journey to the End of the Earth. See, it's not just about a trip to a physical place anymore, is it? It's a confrontation with where our current path could be leading us to a much more final and much scarier kind of end. Those 500,000-year-old carbon records trapped in the ice, they're like an open book, telling us exactly what we've done. So the only real question left is, are we listening?